Imagine listening to someone shouting for 2 hours. After a point, even excitement becomes exhausting. That is exactly what happens in storytelling too. A story cannot stay at the same emotional intensity throughout. If every scene is loud, every moment dramatic, every chapter trying to shock you, the mind slowly becomes tired. And once that exhaustion begins, even important moments stop feeling important. Because the story has given the reader no space to breathe. That breathing space matters more than people realize. Some moments in a story need tension, some need silence, some need movement, and some simply need stillness. Because storytelling is rhythm, not a continuous noise. You must have noticed this while watching films too. Some films feel exhausting even though a lot is happening, and some films move slowly but still keep you emotionally connected throughout. The difference is not speed, the difference is emotional movement. The story needs to know when to rise and when to step back. If everything peaks continuously, there is nothing left to look forward to. Even emotion needs contrast. A quiet moment after tension feels deeper. A small emotional scene after chaos suddenly feels meaningful. And that only happens because the story allowed space before it. Writers sometimes become afraid of slowing down. They feel the reader may lose interest. So they keep adding event after event, twist after twist, revelation after revelation. But after a point, the story stops flowing and starts attacking the reader continuously. That is where emotional connection weakens. Because the reader is no longer experiencing the story. They are only trying to keep up with it. Good storytelling understands control. Not just control over language, but control over energy. Knowing when to hold back is just as important as knowing when to explode emotionally. Because the impact of a moment depends on what came before it. And that balance is what gives a story rhythm. Now, once the manuscript reaches a stage where you feel it is complete, another process slowly begins. And this is a stage where many people make rushed decisions. Because now the story starts moving towards becoming a book. Certain things now have to be viewed carefully, thought through carefully. Even things like chapter breaks matter more than people realize. Where a chapter ends, where reader pauses, where the next chapter begins, all these things quietly affect the reading experience. A badly placed chapter can reduce curiosity, while a well-placed one can pull the reader forward without effort. The same thing applies to the cover image too. Many people treat the cover like decoration, but the cover is the first emotional connection a reader has with the book. Sometimes one image can completely change the way a person feels before they even begin reading. That is why the formatting, the reading flow, the visual structure, the chapter placement, the cover selection, everything makes a big difference. Even the print preparation, all these things deserve attention. Some things work beautifully for one manuscript and completely fail for another. That is why there is no single formula for this stage. And honestly, this is not something that can be properly explained in one common video. Because every manuscript behaves differently once it enters the publishing stage. So instead of trying to give one general answer for everything, I would rather leave this part practical and open. If you genuinely want to understand what needs to be looked at once your manuscript is ready, you can always reach out to me at the email address I have shown above. If I can help, I definitely will. Because after spending all this time building a story, the final presentation deserves care as well. Because the story may end with a manuscript, but the journey of the book starts after that. Hello everybody, this is Vinod Bhaskar here. Let's continue together.
Where stories begin.